Greetings, Greywitch here. So, we got the new Smugglers Run DLC, and there's parts of it that I really do like, and there's parts of it that I really don't like. But one of the things that I really do like is the new hangars that we got. And this is pretty cool, and I would have been happy if they had just given us just the hangar. And the ability, to put planes and stuff in it. I wouldn't just want an empty hangar, but it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and check out what we got going on. So, to buy one of these hangars, you just go right here to the Maze Bank foreclosures, hit the Enter Site button, and you got a few of them. You got 3 of them up there at the military base, and you got 2 of them down here at the airport. And I bought the cheapest one because I'm just not going to throw a whole bunch of money into this, and I haven't done any of the renovations because the renovations are pretty expensive. Especially, there's a lot of cool ones, but I'm just not throwing a bunch of money into this thing before I start deciding if I'm even going to like it. So I've only played a few of the missions, but I do like, the lighting. It's got the Parcan lighting. You can do some really cool stuff with it. It looks cool, but it doesn't change the effects of any of the missions or anything like that. So it's not anything I really need. And I really do like these floor patterns. I wish I could find somebody who would pay $200,000 for me to paint their floor, because I would take that job. And you got your interior office look. It doesn't change any of the way any of the things work in there, so I didn't see any reason for spending $200,000 on it. And I didn't need living quarters because I have Maze Bank West and I have my yacht, so there was no reason for me to add living quarters to this. So, plus that's $375,000, or if you change it up, it's still too much. But the one thing you probably will need is the workshop, because you need this to upgrade your planes and stuff that you do buy. And then that's $1 million, and just the renovations is $2.2 million plus the $1.2 million that I already spent for the building. $3 million, that's a lot of money. And I haven't even put you just get that one plane that they give you. And here's the planes, and I really like this one, but almost $4 million to buy it right off the bat if you don't have a hangar. That's a lot of cash. And I know there's going to be a lot more that they add in, so I'm going to wait till they add some more in before I decide which ones I'm going to get. And then you have some over at Elitas, and I already did buy the ultralight because it's ridiculous, and it's an ultralight. Because I've wanted a hang glider in the game forever, so it's pretty cool. And one of the things I like about the hangar is you can put all your previously bought Pegasus vehicles inside. You just call them and fly them up to the hangar, and you can put them inside. It's pretty awesome. It's got a way to separate them all out, and that's the Cuban that you get free for buying the hangars. That's pretty cool, that blue one back there in the corner. And this place is pretty huge. You could have some really cool death matches and stuff like that inside of here if somebody can figure out a way to do that. So run up here, we'll check out the office and look at the mission aspect of this. Now the missions, there's parts of them I like and there's parts of them I hate. And we'll get into that in just a few minutes. But first, let's pop on the computer, pull this stuff up. This takes forever. Now this just shows you your overview, what you've got, what you've done, and it's pretty cool. So you got your source here. Now this lets you pick which cargo you want to source. It's basically the same stuff as a CEO cargo, and you can just, like I'm going to do right now, just source any of them because I don't have hardly anything in there, so it doesn't really matter. So as you do the sourcing, they're pretty much just like the other ones.
So, there's a team of government divers
Run a call, give you some directions, stuff like that.
You're taking a seaplane, getting out there, taking them out, and diving for the cargo yourself. That's what you're doing.
So it's pretty simple. You fly out there, kill the bad guys, dive down, take the package, bring the package back. And it's cool that they let you use these vehicles. I like the try before you buy kind of thing that they do with the DLCs they do now. Because after flying this plane, there is no way that I would buy it. It's too cumbersome and ridiculous and kind of, I don't know. It's cool, but this isn't one of the ones that I will not buy this plane. And it flies kind of like a rock. But as you do get out here to do the mission, you have all kinds of ways. You got guns, you've got bombs, different ways of doing it. This plane actually lands in the water, it hovers, it's ridiculous. So I tried to do the bombing thing, and you've got to be right on the money with these bombs. They need to really have some kind of indicator without having to change the joystick or the look for what you're doing, so you can see where the bombs are actually hitting. And another thing well, it's not really something you can do, but you cannot drop any of the bombs unless you are flying perfectly level. So if you come back over like I'm doing right now and you are just slightly off level, you can't drop any of the bombs, so they just keep eating you up. So basically I just parked that thing and got my buzzard out and then do the mission like I normally would, and can do it really fast and easy. I'm just much better in the buzzard than I am with any of those other things. And I might actually get to use the Savage because there's so many more bad guys now. I'm really needing more of a repetitive missile fire and stuff like that. So then after you get the package, you can drive it back. And the cool thing that I like about this is you can just fly right over the top of the hangar and you can drop the package and deliver it, which was cool because my helicopter gave out right then. But luckily it didn't blow up. So any landing you can walk away from is a good landing, even though the helicopter's worthless now. Now the sales are pretty much the same thing as all the other DLCs that we've got. You go to where, back into your office, access the computer. It's pretty cool. One thing I did notice though in the sales is you have all of these. So theoretically, you were possibly sitting on $4 million worth of cargo if you filled all of those up. Now that would be an interesting sale to sell all that cargo. I'd like to see how that works out.
Alright then, nothing funky about this one. Take the plane, make the drops, we get paid. Should be breezy.
And that's it. That's pretty simple. Now one thing I will recommend is, for some reason on the sales, it's good to have a personal vehicle right here, because sometimes the vehicles spawn in really far away, so you might need the personal vehicle to drive to the vehicle. Now this thing here is just whack. I'm probably going to buy this when this comes out, if it's not too expensive, because it is pretty cool. I dig the way that it looks, and it actually handles awesome. I just hope there's a way to put some missiles or something on it, because the machine guns on it are really not worth too much. So, just like your basic sail mission, you'll have 5 points to fly to and drop off. All you have to do is just fly over the smoke. When you get in a little circle, hit right on the D-pad and it drops the package right there. It's pretty cool. But one thing I really like about these missions is after you start getting into it, you get jets that chase you down. So I've never been really much of a combat pilot, so this gives me the ability to practice that aspect of flying, which I really like, because I'm playing against AI, so it's not really like going up another player who's much more advanced than I am. This gives me a chance to build my fighting skills, in a pretty cool, easy way. So I dig that a lot about these missions, because I find it kind of hard to avoid some of the missiles, so this gives me a chance to practice that. And then when you're finished, all you have to do is just fly it right back to the hangar and make some bank. And it's pretty cool. I kind of really dig the missions. There's a lot of ridiculous, excessive flying that you have to do on some of them. You'll just fly from one part of the map all the way across to the other side of the map. That's kind of repetitive and kind of boring, but the action parts of it are pretty cool, and I think it kind of makes up for it. So, in conclusion, I dig this DLC. It's got a lot of expensive parts to it. Actually, it's all really expensive. But the parts, the vehicles and stuff like that, it's really cool, and I dig it a lot, and I plan on having a lot of fun with it. Alright, well, this is Greywitch. I hope this video helps you out, and I will see you next time. Peace!